Hi, welcome to my solstice window tutorial. And I'm joining you with an apron that my grandmother painted. And my grandmother passed away a couple of years ago, and my mother recently found this apron at a garage sale at a residence that she didn't even know the people. And she mailed it to me and I opened it today. So that's a wonderful solstice gift and holiday gift. Anyway, I'm going to start with sharing my screen. And, oh, I want to share my whole screen. Okay, let's see. So hopefully you can see the solstice window in-depth tutorial slide. This is my virtual classroom. I use these with students, K through 5 students a lot. And I have a lot of fun making them, so I couldn't resist making this for you, even though you may not be a kid. So first we're gonna start with what I call in my classroom connections. And it's where we just silently invite ourselves to arrive, and we usually do a breathing exercise. So here we're going to take 3 intentional breaths. The first one, in through the nose and out through the mouth. That was the second one. And the third one. And now we can move on to looking at the art supplies. So this is in slide 2. Let's see. Will it let me? Here, I'll present. No, maybe it'll let me. There we go. The art supplies that you might find helpful today are a pencil, a piece of construction paper. I'm using black. Yours doesn't have to be. Tissue paper, just a few colors will do. And a glue stick. If you don't have a glue stick, you could use Elmer's glue or maybe even a little Scotch tape, and a straight edge, a ruler can work, or something else like a piece of cardboard that has a straight edge. And then I put optional self-healing mat with an X-acto. And this is definitely not for a kid to handle. If you are doing it with a kid, I will be showing how to do it with a pair of scissors. Or you may not have a self-healing mat or an X-acto knife, so you might want to do this with scissors. And that's it. I'm going to go back. And I wanted to show you some student application of this stained glass window, as well as my holiday card this year, which also became a digital download for wallpapers for several different devices, and talk about what is solstice, and then go along with a tutorial to help you craft your own solstice window. So the student applications of this project are the 2nd grade project that I've done. And you can see these are rectangular cutouts. They did them with scissors and black construction paper. And then they drew on a separate sheet of paper a candle. And so that could be something that you want to do to start simple. And my holiday card, which you see over here on my document camera, this I made in 2004, and I will give you the link to where you can see a little bit about the process. Let's see if I can open it for you. I have an awesome translucent envelope that goes with it. This is printed on a linen paper, and I made this image the same way that I'm showing you now, and made it and photographed it and made it into a card. And you can find more about that process in the link that I provide in the slideshow. And there's a page on my website where you can read about it and download some digital wallpapers for your device. Let's see, what is a solstice? So I learned about solstice from this wee moon description, which I'll read a little bit about to you. Winter solstice is the longest night and shortest day of the year. Solstice marks the start of winter. It's also known as the returning of light. After the shortest day, the sun starts to return, and slowly but surely with it, the return of warmth and light. Winter solstice is December 21st, when the sun moves into Capricorn. Solstice is celebrating the rebirth of the sun and a pivotal point on our seasonal cycle. Solstices are the extreme points as Earth's axis tilts toward or away from the sun, when days and nights are longest or shortest. On equinoxes, days and nights are equal in all parts of the world. And this solstice is also around the same time we celebrate all these different winter holidays. And the one that I am immediately going to find out about after I do this tutorial is the Festival of Hummingbirds. So here, let's watch.
Let's make a solstice window.
Oh, that's a little loud. Anyway, so I traced a circle, I cut them out with an X-acto, and I applied tissue paper pieces. I just used 3 or 4 colors in that one. 4. So that's the fast sped up version of the process. So the making a stop edge, this is just an edge that reminds you to stop and not cut it out. And you can do it the width of your ruler or something else, but basically you just create, and I'm doing it in white pastel. You could easily do this in pencil. You'll still be able to see it, even if you're working on a dark color. And once you have your stop edge, you know that your image won't fall out. If I were going to do 4 panels, I'll just do that so that it's a little easy to explain. I would trace the width of the ruler kind of in the middle, and then I would do it this way in the middle. And then I would definitely mark where I'm going to cut out. So none of this we will see because this will all be in the back of your page. And I have students cut out the negative space, which means it's going to be a hole. They're going to cut out the hole. So I clearly mark it with a white pastel. You could do this with just putting an X with your pencil. So you know this is the shape I'm going to cut out. Sometimes I just fill it in, so it's easier to imagine that that space is going to be cut out. And then the quickest, easiest way to use scissors for this is to just cut the hole out by kind of gently folding it, but not creasing it. Put your scissors and do a little snip. And then come along and cut out. So this is a great technique for anybody, but especially for students who are just getting familiar with scissors as a tool. And how do you cut a hole in the middle of something? Well, here it is. And so now I have my rectangle, and then I would go on and cut out the other rectangles. And I will use this time to tell you that I know in my tutorial, I traced a circle and I cut it with the X-acto knife. Cutting straight lines is way easier than cutting curved lines, especially with the X-acto. And also when you're planning out your image, the more complicated it is, the more you have to think about what shapes will fall out and what shapes need to be attached to the edge to stay in the image. And she took it and she replaced it with chapstick. That's super cool. It's not April's Fool's Day. It is solstice. So, well, that gives me an opportunity to demonstrate with some Scotch tape. So let's just do that. Thank you. Thank you, Goldie. All right. So let's show what it looks like with some tissue paper. Now, all you have to do really is do it a little bit larger than the hole you want it to fill so that you have some space to apply glue stick or tape, whatever you're using. So I'm gonna, with my Sharpie, basically go a little bit outside the hole, and I can kind of see through this. I bet I would even be better able to see through it if I put a little white underneath. Yeah. So I'm gonna go like this. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to have an edge so that if I were using glue stick, I could apply the glue stick around the perimeter of the shape that I want to fill. And then it would adhere to that edge. Since I'm using tape instead, it'll be just a tiny bit different. So this part is super fun because you can combine colors. You can have a couple of layers of color and see how that works. You can experiment and have a little fun with it. Save your scraps because as you get more practice at doing this, you can make ones with sort of different size holes that may require smaller scraps. Let's see if this tape idea really works. I think it will. So I'm just gonna tape. It doesn't matter that it's not perfect because this is the back. So here is the first pane of my stained glass window, my solstice window. There you go. And then when I turn it this way, it's nice. You can see, and I can put other colors in there. So I'm going to bring my, I'm going to stop my share and talk a little bit about the window over here behind me. I want you to see that I just taped it up here and with some Scotch tape. And this shape is a little more complex than the rectangles. So it would be like a next step after you practice the rectangles. And the shape is based on the Chalice Well Gardens in Glastonbury. There's a well head that has this shape on it. Let me see over here, my ring. So the ring has like a sword shape through it, but and I was thinking of it because about the balance of the sun and the moon and how the sun radiates and then lights up the moon. And so maybe there's sun and moon imagery within this, and it's about light and dark and the balancing of two different polarities, and how this day I'm thinking of it tying to solstice as like, even though this is a short day and you can see behind me the day is about to end, even though it's a short day, overall it balances out with the summer solstice where it's the longest day. So we're always just achieving balance, and this is called the Vesica Pisces. And this shape represents the merging of the two and the balance of the two. So that's why I chose that. But really, you could make a solstice window any time of the year because it's really fun. And that's it. Thank you.